So, first exit on the roundabout, we've just come off it. And then first left here, take the next left. And then at the end of the road, if you can turn right, please. And then second exit on the roundabout. And then if you can follow town centre on the signs. Town centre on the signs. So you can see that's moving to the right hand lane. And now it's the third lane on the right. You can see on that sign there, it's marked on the road as well. So yeah, we're all good to go. Following it round. Let's exit to the left here. And then I'm going to need to move into the left hand lane, which is tricky because this is the section where you don't take much notice of the 30 limit. So as you can see, people driving past on the left. This van's just swerved into the other lane as he saw me put my left signal on because he was going to try and overtake on the left. So now he's gone past on the right. So still following town centre on the signs. So it's the second exit to the left. On the sign. So as I come up to this, bring myself up to the line. It's staggered, so you should be able to see, as long as the person next to you has stopped in the correct position, and they had because they were a learner, lorry driver, learner HGV. So you still see town centre on the sign. So, now I'm going to ask myself to turn left at the traffic lights. And as you can see, more speed humps. So check to go around, the doors open on the side as well, so make sure no one's hopping out of it, or I can see the people there. And then you can see it is a 20 limit. and then right at the top of the road. Then back into the 30. And then I'm just going to continue ahead. So remember, you're always following the road ahead, unless you're given a direction otherwise. So straight on at the traffic lights. And then I'm going to ask myself to pull up on the right, next to the telegraph pole. And then I'm going to ask myself to do the reverse back, so cut the car lengths as normal. Don't worry about the drives, but just keeping an eye on them. There we go, and then move off when I'm ready, so full check round. Go over my left shoulder. I'm going to indicate because there's a parked car there, potentially someone could come round it. Generally speaking, you can easily get two cars going past each other, two-way traffic, if there's parked cars on the right, but all those cars are running quite wide as they came around the corner. Remember, with a bicycle, you need 1.5 metre gap. I'm not going to try and overtake before the parked car, because he needs to come out. Oh, there's enough space now. So just keeping it nice and easy. You also had headphones on, which is never great because he might not be able to hear me, although I did see him glance over his shoulder, so he heard a little bit at the very least. Okay, and then if you can take the next left, please. And then left at the end of the road. And then if you can find somewhere safe to put up on the left for me, please. And move off when you're ready. Bend here, so just go nice and easy. Car coming towards us, so find the correct position. I'd say here is good enough. Oh, they're just going to drive straight off their driveway. if you can take the next road on the right, please. And then if you can turn right at the end of the road, please. And then if you can take the next left. And left at the end of the road. So wherever you've got brows of hills, just be careful with parked cars, because obviously someone could be coming up the middle and you can't see them very clearly. Same with this whole section, just keep your eyes peeled. So like there, this one's in the road, slow right down. Once a pedestrian is in the road, they have priority. Once they've stepped foot in the road. So you do need to make sure that you give them the space, check your mirrors correctly, and give them the space. So carry on down the hill. Watch out, because that learner's parked very awkwardly. Very awkwardly. So, you know, coming up there, up the hill, on the bend, I mean, I couldn't see round it. Anyone come the other way is going to have to come around that bend on the wrong side of the road. So, let's turn right at the end of the road. Bit of a tricky junction. So, so that chap was letting me across. It was slightly awkward because he parked quite far forward and cars can drive past him on the other side. However, the lorry had pulled up behind him, and that meant that the lorry couldn't actually get past him. He was then signalling that I could go out. To my right, there was a road sweeper trying to let him turn across the front of me. Right, we're going to take the second exit straight over on this roundabout. Well, actually, there was 3 road sweepers all in a line, all turning into that road. So basically, I was just trying to make sure it was absolutely clear, because again, there could be a motorbike, could be anything coming along. Just because someone's waving you to pull out of the junction doesn't mean that it's clear for you to go. You still have to make absolutely certain it is actually clear. Because if you pull out in front of somebody, regardless of a driving test or not, it's dangerous and you can cause an accident. So always make sure it's clear. Don't just rely on somebody waving you out of a junction. So always make sure there's quite a lot of bus lanes about, so when you pull back in after they finish, do make sure you check your mirrors. Some of them allow taxis. Buses obviously can drive quite quick. So end of the road here, nothing needs to be said. You go left, that's it. There isn't another choice. I'm going to bring the car around and try and straighten it up so that, for example, if there's anyone cycling, it can still get past me. Although this car's queued up behind me anyway. So just staying in the left lane in the one-way system. So there's a van there. So make sure I've got an offset to the vehicles that are in the right lane, and also I've got space. And then I'm going to take in the left on this roundabout, so first left. You can't actually go any other way when you come up to it from this angle, but left anyway on this roundabout. Again, make sure I don't block the crossing, make sure they clear it. I'll signal for the benefit of people coming out of that junction. They might not realise that you can only go this way on here. Left again. And then, so we're basically following A14 now on these signs. So it's right on this roundabout, third exit. Second exit across this one. And this roundabout is the third exit, shown offset to the right. Past two clear exits there, and going off to the left. Tricky roundabout because you get people trying to drive around the left edge of that roundabout with no signal on. Follow this along past the port of Ipswich. So coming through this section, you've got to make a judgment. Is it wide enough for two cars to run side by side? The answer is yes, plenty wide enough. Same with the next section, but again you can see it from here. If you're looking down the road far enough, you know what's clear and not clear. So you maintain a good gap to these parked cars. Doors width minimum doesn't mean you can go miles out to the road, but essentially just look at the parked cars, imagine someone stepping out between them, and that is pretty much the gap you want to leave to a car that you could actually do something about it if someone stepped out between two cars. So the closer you get and the less vision you've got, the slower you should be going. If you can create a good enough gap, then maybe you can still stick to 30 as you go down a road like that. So we're coming into this section. I'm going to ask myself to go into the right hand lane here and then to follow the right hand lane. can see the lorry's going into the port of Ipswich. Yeah, just to stay in the right hand lane. And then you can see there on the signpost that it's A14, turn right to A14, which I will do. So yeah, got a nice clear run. One of these people actually put it in front of me. Go into de-restricted, which means there is a 60 limit. When we get to the top, we're going to go left. So, I mean, if somebody's going very slow, you can overtake it. It is worth noting that this is not a dual carriageway, as people sometimes think. So the speed limit remains 60. It's still a single carriageway. You can see it because there's only one piece of tarmac going all the way across. And also, on top of that, they've reduced the speed limit. So this didn't used to be a 40 here, but it is now. So you run out of space quite quickly. So we're going left here, Felixstowe A14 on the signs, past the brand new petrol station. People have a habit here of coming around the roundabout with no signal. That BMW just did it, just swung, it came up quite fast, swung into the roundabout, no signal. And as you can see, this road is now a 60 limit. Again, never used to be a 60 limit. And it also has variable speed limit signs, as you can see there. So it is currently a 60. This one's always interesting because this sign is hidden behind this actual road sign, and you can just see it pop out. So if that speed limit changed while you were coming up to it, you wouldn't actually be able to see it until you get right on top of it, which isn't overly useful. So yeah, if those digital signs say a different speed, then that is the speed limit for this road. And it has got average speed cameras on it. So when we get across the bridge, we are going to take the first exit to the left. The first exit off this dual carriageway. So you've got to be a little bit careful about overtaking it because you can get kind of caught out getting stuck alongside people. So at the minute we're doing sort of 55 miles an hour-ish behind these lorries. I'm just going to stay behind them because the junction isn't that far away, and you can see that if I tried to pull out, I wouldn't really get anywhere. Now these lorries are actually speeding up. And you can just about see there was a red car that I was following across the bridge that pulled out quite a long time ago. It still hasn't made it past the lorries, neither has that queue of traffic. So as I say, it is awkward. So it's just pulled in. So if I was in his position, I might have just made it past those two lorries. But the problem is, as I say, you can get stuck. If you do, you just got to keep going straight on. You can't just cut into the left lane to pull off. But if you know that you're going to be coming off, it is much easier to sort of remain in a lane where you can actually get off the road. So here's a sign that says Ipswich Hospital, half a mile away. Now these lorries have slowed down to about 50 or so. Make sure you maintain a good gap. And watch out, because the other thing that happens, of course, is that you're maintaining a good gap and then someone comes alongside and slices right across the front of you because they were in the right hand lane trying to overtake and they actually wanted to come off. So when I come off this, I'm going to remain in the right hand lane, so they might ask you to stay in the right hand lane. going to take what is the second exit from this junction straight across. So the Havens on the sign. So again, tricky little junctions because you've got an exit to your right where people come off the other direction of the dual carriageway, and then onto this road, weird bit of road because it's got this black line down the middle which makes it look like it's 2 lanes because it used to be 2 lanes, and now it's 1 lane because there's a cycle lane to the left which is completely worn off the road. However, there are the remnants of the cycle lane, so you just treat this as 1 lane. Straight across this roundabout, second exit. Thankfully they fixed some of the drains on this road because some of them were destroyed. Felt like the car was going to fall through them if you clipped them. And then we're just coming up to the end, so just come round this section of road. And there's a left at the end, and at that point we're finished. So just coming up here, make sure it's nice and clear, turn it out, and that's the end.